ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to all of you and welcome to the Joburg Ultra 2022 at the beautiful Cradle Moon venue.
Over the years, we've told the stories of many extraordinary people from all walks of life, and today is no different. We're in the cradle of humankind, supporting one of our own. It's almost 7 o'clock on a warm Sunday morning in December. Mac's getting ready to tackle a half Ironman. That means a 1.9 kilometer swim, a 90k cycle, and a 21k run.
I detect a slight bit of nerves. Slight.
How are you
Lots
feeling,
of nerves.
man?
I'm very nervous about it, but I just want to get to the end. All I want to do is finish. I'm not here for times, nothing. I just want to get to the finish line.
At this point, you probably wonder, why is Mac doing a half Ironman? What's so special about that? Well, that is exactly what this story is about.
Go Mac! One day, I was driving towards Lanseria Airport and I saw that there was a lady that was sitting on the floor and she was holding a gentleman or someone in her hands, but I could see it was a cyclist. And she was rocking this person. And I could almost see that this man's scalp had almost been removed, and I'm guessing that's where the helmet was, and the impact must have removed his skin off, so because I could almost see his head, and it totally freaked me out.
Very, very sad thing happened. Drivers accused of running over two cyclists, killing one.
A cyclist was killed by an alleged drunk driver near Lanseria.
A week later, I see a Facebook post, and it's 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗆. And Sharon I've known for the past, 15 to 20 years. And so I see her post which says, "My dear Andre, taken from us too soon, your memory will live on." And I'm like, as I'm reading this, I'm now adding one and one, and then I'm like, oh God, that person that was hit by a car that day was Andre, was Sharon's husband.
I said goodbye like I would every other day and walked back to my room, and the phone rang. And it was just said, "Come quickly." The helicopters were there and the ambulances were there. In my mind going, okay, Andre's either in the helicopter or he is in one of the ambulances. But he wasn't.
Andre left quite an impression on Mac. He was an exceptional triathlete and represented South Africa in the World Champs. Sharon, his wife and biggest supporter, always by his side.
Just that instantaneous tragedy that just rips your entire life within 30 minutes. I was speaking to him 30 minutes later. It was over.
I'd always tease Andre. I said, "Andre, why are you doing Ironman? What's wrong with you?" And I said to him, "You know what? When I'm old and stupid enough like you, I'll do Ironman." I'm doing this Ironman in honor of Andre, in honor of his memory, his kids, his wife.
It's an incredible gift that you can leave, that somebody was impacted by Andre's life and that light continues to shine through. That's why, for me, it is something that I absolutely celebrate and applaud, because I'm going, that's what is so important, is how Andre lived this life.
We reached out when the 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗆 incident happened to the Department of Transport, and we've been engaging with them ever since. The idea is to form a task team that is going to look at how we can improve the safety of cyclists on the road.
Cycling SA's president, 𝗀𝗁cie𝗿𝗆𝗆, a keen cyclist himself, has been at the helm of the organization since the beginning of the year.
We're very, very concerned about it. I think particularly in the last 18 months, since my involvement in the leadership of cycling, we've seen some horrific accidents on the road happening across the board.
Can we put a number on the deaths or incidents involving cyclists every year?
Yeah, the latest figures I saw was 451 fatalities per annum. I mean, that's a horrific number. I think that's just the reported cases. The number is probably much higher than that.
Despite all the dangers, Mac, like so many other cyclists, has to head out on the road every day. It's mid-November and Mac's been hard at work for just over 2 months. I catch up with him on the road. How's the training going?
The training's going well. I think this week, for the first time, my body is not in pain. But for the past sort of like 6 weeks, everything's been sore, even my nails. I think even my hair has been sore. Our training officially began on the 1st of October, but the 1st of November is almost where we're now kicking everything off. Training 6 days a week, spending time in the pool, time on the bike, time on the road, every single day, right up until Ironman. Everything is in pain, but it's going to be worth it at the end of the day, and hopefully when we make it over that finish line.
15 seconds.
Langa has been running almost all his life. He's been cycling all his life. He's done the Comrades about 6 times, so I thought, let me do this with someone that I like, somebody that I get along with, and somebody that I know.
Last one will give 100, so...
Having grown up together, Langa Lloyd Marlow knows Mac well. Conditioning Mac for the Ironman in March is his top priority.
It's a mammoth challenge. To do an Ironman takes a lot of sacrifice, mostly in terms of your time. You're looking at least about 10 hours on the bike per week that you have to spend away from family, and you have to run at least about 50 Ks within that week, so that's another 5 hours, and you have to put in the swim. And you have to sustain it over at least an 18-week period. The biggest thing is really about the consistency and just keep on waking up in the early morning and turning up for training and doing it over and over again.
The minute I get onto a bike, the first thing that comes is, do I have my helmet on? Are my lights on? Because sometimes you start cycling from like very early in the morning. You almost ride that bike with a prayer. That's all you do. At any point in time, somebody could skip a robot, and you've constantly got to have your situational awareness, because if you don't, it could cost you your life.
South Africa lives in a lawless society. We don't obey the law. Part of my role is working with the government to try and bring about long-term change to make sure we don't have these incidents where people lose their loved ones.
Neil Robinson is the CEO of Pedal Power Association, operating out of Cape Town. Following Andre's death, they launched a project called Cyclists' Lives Matter, with one goal in mind: making our roads safer for all cyclists. Neil, Mac taking on the Ironman in Andre's name, does that help to focus on cycling and safety?
Absolutely. I think every little bit helps, and I think it's a wonderful gesture in memory of Andre. All of these things help, and they add to the pressure that we are building on the unlawful nature of and the absolute tragedy of these kinds of things that happen on our roads every single day.
Mac is another step closer to fulfilling his promise to Andre. At the Joburg Ultra Triathlon, Mac's endurance was pushed to the limits. He experienced many difficulties. Problems with his wetsuit meant he could only do half the swim, and tyre issues meant he had to cut the cycling too. The harsh reality is Ironman is double the distance. Despite missing the cutoff, Mac pushed ahead with the final discipline and completed the run. This is the farthest distance he has done in one day, spending over 9 hours on his legs.
I think Andre's spirit just keeps us going one foot in front of the other. I just kept on saying, I must finish, I must finish, I must finish. So I don't want to let him down, I don't want to let the kids down, I don't want to let Sharon down, and more than anything, I also don't want to let myself down. I want to see this through.
I hope what the campaign does is the promise to Andre inspires other people to also take on their biggest challenges, and that light continues. Mac will learn that he will cry every time he crosses that finish line.
There will be tears.
There will be tears, yeah. From pain or just from pure exhilaration and just what you've managed to achieve. If Mac is being inspired by Andre to do Ironman, then, what a great gift to me and my children.
The entire Carte Blanche team, if not the whole country, is behind you, Mac. And remember what Andre used to say, leave it all on the road.